hard for me to play and transition it. If you can just transition it, I can do the musical transition. As it's like, all right, but there's no one here, so here we go. I know. Okay. Check. One. All right, I'm going to... Hine ma tovu manayim Shevet achim gam yachad. We're on page 10 in the prayer book. Hine ma tovu manayim Shevet achim gam yachad. 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 We're going to keep singing a bit as we welcome one another in on page 24. Page 24 will join in Shalom Aleichem, welcoming in our Shabbat angels or our Shabbat messengers of peace. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Hasharim, Malachi Elyon,
HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Olechem l'shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Elyon. Melech Malachi Alachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni l'shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Elyon. Melech Malachi Alachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Zetchem l'shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Elyon. Melech Malachi Alachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shabbat Shalom and welcome. Blessing to be together at the end of a week. There's so much to celebrate in our lives, so much that we often take for granted, and Shabbat gives us an opportunity to pause and reset and reframe our perspective on the world and on ourselves. There's also a lot to celebrate this Shabbat. Brand new person is going to be welcomed into the Jewish community and receive her Hebrew name. 13 years ago, I think we did that with you, Talia, and by we, I mean the grand we, and here you are, being called to Torah. So that's really amazing. It's June, and that also means that we're in the middle of Pride Month. You'll see our colorful candles, which is wonderful, and in addition to celebrating the LGBTQ plus community, they've really given all of us, all humanity, a reminder that the core of Pride is celebrating who we each are as individuals and how we're all made in God's image. And of course, this weekend is also Juneteenth, as we celebrate freedom, as we celebrate emancipation for our African-American brothers and sisters. And we still remember there's a lot of work to do, but we pause to celebrate. Please take a moment with all of that to greet one another with a Shabbat Shalom. You can wave to the folks at home when we say Shabbat Shalom to you joining us on live stream. We're going to continue on pages. Here, are you going to bring your mic, or do you want to bring this mic? You should bring this one. What? Or just put that in the mic stand. Over here. We're going to continue on pages 2 and 3 as Talia Reese, our bat mitzvah, and her grandmother Bonnie Stark come to the bima and lead us in kindling and blessing the Shabbat candles.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle the light. Sorry.
That's okay. They're a little unstable. It's not you, it's the candles.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and I saw this happening.
We're still very proud.
That's right.
Here, I'm going to hold this one.
Okay.
I've got this.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, trust me, it's not you, it's the candles.
There we go.
Here, I got it. You do the blessing. Go ahead. Yeah, got it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher Kidshanu B'mitzvosav B'tzivanu Lahadlik Ner Shel Shabbat. Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik
As we heard, we are celebrating multiple simchas tonight, and well, Phoebe has already made herself known, but we're going to officially invite up really the newest member of our temple community, Phoebe, along with her parents, Simon and Maggie Tuckman, and big sister PJ. You guys can come on up here to the bima, and we are going to take this moment to give Phoebe her Hebrew name and welcome her into the community of the Jewish people. So you guys can come on over here. Did she actually go to sleep? Oh, she's all right.
She's out. She's definitely out.
All right, well, we're going to make this short and sweet. So I'm going to welcome Phoebe with these traditional Hebrew words. Brucha haba'a b'shem Adonai. May she who comes in the name of God be blessed. Blessed be all who have gathered here for this sacred moment. And I'm now going to invite Phoebe's parents, Simon and Maggie, to share really the first official blessing of her life, which is the blessing that all parents recite, welcoming a new life into your family. And this blessing welcomes her not just to your family, but to the whole Jewish community.
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahachnisa bivrit shel Am Yisrael.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot and commands us to bring our daughter into the covenant of the people of Israel.
Amen. So that's really your first mitzvah, first blessing to recite on her behalf. And I'm going to go ahead and officially share her Hebrew name. And then, Simon, I'll invite you to share a little bit about how you got these names. Our God and God of our mothers and fathers, sustain this child through her parents' loving care. Let her be known among the people of Israel by the name Esther Bat Shlomo v'Margalit, and in the community as Phoebe Aaron. May her name be a source of joy to her parents and inspire her to serve our people and all humankind. May this little one become great.
Sure. So Esther was my grandmother Estelle Tuckman's name, and she passed away last year. So we wanted to honor her by giving her that Hebrew name. And Aaron, middle name, with an E for Estelle, and her husband Eli passed away a couple of years ago. All those are for our family. And anything I'm leaving out? No, that's kind of that.
Well, Phoebe or Esther in Hebrew now receives all of these names, all of these blessings that have passed down through your family. She's also very fortunate to have 3 grandparents here with her today and extended family. And I'm now going to offer a 3-fold blessing to her, and then I'm going to ask her big sister PJ to help with one other blessing. So we say these Hebrew words, Keshem shenichnasa labrit, ken tikanes la Torah ulechupa ulema'asim tovim. As she has entered into the covenant today, as you have brought her, so too may she enter into a life of Torah, becoming bat mitzvah, the blessing of a sacred relationship under the chuppah. That's really a long time in the future. And the third thing is the practice of good deeds. And we say amen. And Phoebe is really fortunate to have her big sister PJ, who's already in our Shorashim religious school, starting to learn Torah. So Phoebe, I'm going to ask you to give your gift to your sister. Maybe you can pat her head with it. All right. And since you're such a great helper, you might even hold that for her. All right, excellent. So I'm going to, Rabbi Micah, could we borrow your talit? Would that be okay? Excellent. So we're just going to offer you one more blessing, which is the priestly blessing, the ancient words of our people that bless Phoebe and all of you with words of shalom, with words of peace. And we're going to go ahead and wrap all of you in this prayer shell. And this is hopefully a blessing, Phoebe or Esther, that you'll hear many times throughout your life at all special moments. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God bless you and keep you always. May God's light shine upon you, through you, and be in you. May God's face be lifted toward yours, and may you be blessed with days and nights of shalom, of peace. Amen. And just, stay up here for one moment. We're going to invite everyone here, our congregation, to join in the blessing of Shehechianu, our Jewish blessing of gratitude for this new life. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign in the universe, who has given us life, sustained us, and brought us to this moment. So we say Mazel Tov, and PJ, maybe you'll hold a few gifts for your sister. So this is her official naming certificate that says she was named here tonight. And also, when she can grow into it, she now gets an official onesie that says, I got my name from Temple Beth David. So Mazel Tov to all of you. We'll enjoy some sweets together after our service. You guys can take your seat. Mazel Tov. And we're so glad that you celebrated with us this evening, and hope she'll keep sleeping. We're going to continue with our service, welcoming the Shabbat bride with the words Lecha Dodi on page 20. We'll join in verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And on that last verse, if you're able, we'll invite you to rise, face our doors to bring Shabbat in. Again, page 20.
Likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat, nekabela. Shamor v'zachor, b'dibor echad, lishmianu, el hameyuchad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad l'shemo tiferet, naliti lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat, nekabela. Likrat Shabbat, lechu v'nechad, imekor, haberacha, merosh mikedem, ne'esucha sof ma'aseh, ne'machshav tchila lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat, nekabela. Itorari, ivaorech, uri, uri, ושלום, עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצורה, תוך אמוני, עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה,
Standing. Turn to page 26 for Chatzi Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabba ve'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael bagala uv'izman kariv V'yimeru amen, Yehi shmei rabba mevorach, le'olam lo me'almaya yitbarach. Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shemei tekudsha b'richu. Lamin kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma, ve'yimeru amen. We begin our call to prayer on page 28 with English words that invite us into this moment. The English is not in your book, but good thing we have a few of our Shorashim students here. We say these words on Sunday mornings, reminding us to be awake and present.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I
This alternative Ma'ariv Aravim, the Hebrew is on page 30, as this prayer brings on the evening. This is an English version from Mishkan Ge'ava, the pride version of Mishkan Tefillah, our Siddur, especially celebrating LGBTQ Jewish life. It's called Twilight People. As the sun sinks and the colors of the day return, we offer a blessing for the twilight. For twilight is neither day nor night, but in between. All of us are twilight people. We can never be fully labeled or defined. All of us have many identities and loves, genders, many and none. All of us are in between roles and at the intersection of history. All of us are crisscrossed paths of memory and destination. Streaks of light swirl together. We are neither day nor night. We are both, neither, and all. May the sacred in-between of this evening suspend our certainties, soften our judgments, and widen our vision. May this in-between light illuminate our ways to God, who transcends all categories and definitions. May the in-between people who have come to pray be lifted into this twilight. We cannot always be defined. We can always say a blessing. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'ma'ariv Aravim. We join in Shema, uniting all of us into one, page 34. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Please be seated. We're going to invite Talia up to lead us in Ve'ahavta, reminding us to pass our tradition to the next generation, page 36.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha v'chol nafshecha v'bechol me'odecha v'hayu ha'dvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta v'shivtaha b'beitecha uvavtaha b'derech ושוכבها רוחמך וקשרתם לאות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בעיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתיהם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Let's join together in the English on page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. Page 40.
Yai lai lai la lai la 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 lai. Yai lai lai la lai la 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 lai. Yai lai lai la lai la 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 lai. Yai la lai lai la 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 la.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha netar b'kodesh, nora tehiloto sefele, nora tehiloto sefele. Malechutecha ra'u v'adecha, bokei hayam nifnei Moshe u'Miriam,
Elianu ve'ameru, Elianu ve'ameru, Adonai Eloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai olam va'ed. Yai lai lai la lai la 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 lai, yai lai la lai la 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 lai, yai lai lai la lai la 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai.
ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Page 42. Song of peace, a song of sukkah, of shelter, a prayer that asks for God to watch over us as night descends, that we might wake up to a new day of life, living a life of goodness.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom, Leshalom, Vehamidenu Shomreinu Lechaim, Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha, Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen, 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 amen.
Page 45. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. So our prayers invite us into our history, into our story, again, into our present day. We rise now in body or in spirit on page 46. As we enter our tefillah, we'll begin together and then pause for some moments of silent prayer to add the prayers from our hearts.
Adonai Sefatai Tiftach Ufi Agid Tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot ve'imahot, Umevi Geulah livnei bneihem, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בגבורות, ומי דומה לך? מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
We'll continue silently. Feel free to be seated when you're ready.
If you have your prayer supplement, the white sheet of paper, you'll see a song called Love is Love is Love. The liturgical setting is the blessing for rainbows, the blessing that is set upon seeing a rainbow, and it's a reminder of the covenant that God made with Noah and the world, that God would treat the world with compassion and not destroy it again. So Dan Nichols wrote this melody with this prayer in mind and with this time in mind. Whatever you are, whatever I am, we are more than woman or man. Whatever you are, whatever I am, we are more than woman or man. I met a girl in Ohio. She told me she had rainbows in her eyes. Rainbows in our eyes, we'd see where love resides. Rainbows in our eyes, the colors multiply. When love is love, it's love is love is love is love is love. Love is love is love is love is love. The chorus is that easy. Love is love is love is love is love is love is love. Love is love is love is love is love. There's a light shining through us. We are kaleidoscopes of hope. Helps us all to see what love can truly be. A gift to set us free, pure and holy. And I see you right beside me. There's never been another one like you. Do you see me right beside you? Holding on to this spinning world of green and blue, where love is love is love is love is love is love is love. Love is love is love is love is love. Love is love is love is love is love is love is love. Love is love is love is love is love. In the end and in the beginning, faithful, loving light never dimming. In the end and in the beginning, faithful, loving light never dimming. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Zocher habrit v'ne'eman ivrito v'kayam b'mamaro. Love is love is love is love is love is love is love. Love is love is love is love is love. Love is love is love is love is love is love is love. Love is love is love is love is love. We turn our thoughts now to our prayer for healing as we take this time to pray for healing, health, strength for any loved ones who are ill at this time, and we pray for those who care for them as well. We're going to just stay on that song page, which contains words from healing from this week's Torah portion, as our Torah portion tells the story of Moses' sister becoming ill. Moses says these words on her behalf, El na refana la, O God, please heal her. And the community of Israel pauses in their journey and waits until she is better before they continue on. So using these words from the Torah, from the book of Numbers, we will start together and then pause to add the names of our family members and community. Dear God of our ancestors, help us renew our faith. Grant us a perfect healing. Bring peace to all our days. El We especially pray for Colin Monroe, Mary Lou Hole, Janet Watson, Elizabeth Hill,
Enrico Mascaro, Deborah Booker, Robert Bloom, Benjamin Horowitz, Bradley Dichter, Matteo Goldman, Toby Weiner, Asya Rushavskaya, Amy Fasberg-Kurz, Eileen Arnone, Jean Sands, Roseanne Cohen, Tom Fiorino, Barry Levine, Carolyn Weil, Stephen Driscoll, Richard Slifka, Marshall Lukoff, Anna, Jerry Spingarn, Caroline Spingarn, Sue Goldberg, Mark Albion, and Beth Gottlieb. If there are other names you'd like to mention that we may think of them.
Restore our strength of body. Help clarify our minds. Refresh our tired spirits. Rejuvenate our light.
Thank you for all these blessings
Throughout our days and nights, we
celebrate the journey, this precious gift of life. And now, Rafana, la, Rafana, la, nu. And now, Rafana, la, Rafana, la, nu. Shabbat Shalom again. I have to tell you that each week it occurs to me that if you missed last week's service, perhaps it is harder to follow the content of your rabbi's weekly Devar Torah, or Word of Torah, since the Torah, of course, is a continuous scroll. Each parasha or portion builds on the one before it. If you think about it, it is really one big story that got divided up into 54 exactly different portions. Now, don't worry, this is not meant to be a guilt trip to talk you into coming to services every week. Of course, if you want to, all the better. Rather, it is a reminder that sometimes there is more meaning in the Torah when you read the different parts together. This week's Torah portion, Beha'alotcha, begins right after the Mishkan, or the portable tabernacle, which was the central gathering place for our people in the desert and the center of divine connection. Our portion begins just after it was completed. Now, last week we read, on the day that Moses finished setting up the tabernacle, anointed and consecrated it and all its furnishings, as well as the altar and the utensils. It would seem last week that the Mishkan was finished. But reading that together with the start of this week's portion, we discover that something was missing. This week's portion begins, the Eternal One spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to Aaron and say to him, when you mount the lamps, let the 7 lamps give light at the front of the lampstand. Aaron did so. He mounted the lamps at the front of the lampstand as the Eternal had commanded Moses. So we see that even though the physical structure had been completed, the lights still needed to be turned on. More light was needed, which can also, of course, be understood metaphorically as more awareness, more wisdom, and more understanding. The Mishkan was not yet complete until human insight and action added light to bring the Mishkan to life. This point is hit home further toward the end of our parashah when God instructs Moses to make 2 silver trumpets that shall summon the people into motion. It's a reminder that this tabernacle was not meant to be stationary. The Israelites had to keep marching forward. The Torah describes how the trumpets served a twofold purpose, both to call the people together for ritual celebration like holidays, and as a call to action to fight their enemies. The trumpets served as both spiritual and ethical wake-up calls. So we see that both the light and the trumpets remind us of our purpose even today, especially tonight as we celebrate Pride Month and Juneteenth this weekend, now a federal holiday commemorating the emancipation of enslaved African Americans and celebrating Black lives and culture. We are commanded to continually add our light and our voices to the ongoing struggle for freedom and equality. So you can think about, what are your lights and what are your trumpets? How will you use your awareness and your voice for good? Stay tuned next week for more Torah to come. Shabbat Shalom. Again, Mazel Tov to Talia Reese, who will be called to the Torah as a bat mitzvah tomorrow. Mazel Tov to the Tuckman family. I trust Phoebe is fast asleep now. All right, but PJ, it's almost time for some cookies, so I'm glad you're still awake. And our lay-led minyan will meet at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, both here in the library in person and on Zoom. Happy Father's Day to those celebrating. And please read your weekly shofar email for everything else coming up in our community. Next Shabbat at 6:30, we will be offering a special blessing for any kids heading off to summer camp, both day camp and overnight. So come get your blessing. It will hopefully keep you healthy this summer. And we will also have a special oneg honoring Rabbi Micah. I will just say, don't quote me on this, but I heard a rumor about a chocolate fountain. That's all I'm going to say. That's it, really. So please continue to celebrate with us. We will be outdoors this summer when possible with the threat of thunder, and we thought we'd all appreciate a little air conditioning tonight. We moved inside, but do check the weather when it's good. We are outside on the courtyard all summer, yeah, check your email for other things coming up during Shabbat services and learning opportunities even throughout the summer. Anything else to add?
No.
Okay.
Just a blessing.
Yes. One more blessing for tonight.
One more blessing. So there's been a lot to celebrate in June, confirmation, lots of different things, and we haven't done our June birthday blessing. So do we have any June birthdays in the house? Come on up, come on up for a blessing. And maybe if you're online, you're of course with us in spirit. Meryl, come on. You can't hide it. That's right. Oh, good. Come on. Well, if you're a June birthday, you're also born in and around the Hebrew month of Sivan, which of course is the month of the giving of Torah, and we call Torah our life and the length of our days. Being born in June, you have the blessing of long, beautiful pre-summer and summer days. So our blessing is that the length of your days are filled with health and goodness in the year ahead, joy and happiness. And we wish you a mazel tov and one more shechianu as we celebrate our loved ones, our friends' birthdays. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov. All right, well, we don't have birthday cake, but thank you to the Reese family and the Tuckman family for providing some sweets this evening. Let's move into our concluding prayers for the Shabbat evening, page 282. If you're able, we rise. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, la'tei gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoye ha'aratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo samchelkenu kaham, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. We remain standing and turn our thoughts to loved ones who are no longer with us as we think about the ways that their lights continue to shine in our lives and in our memory. We are especially remembering these loved ones who have passed away in recent weeks. Philip Ritzenberg, the father of Jeremy Ritzenberg, and Hazel Henderson, dear friend of Mark Albion. We also remember these loved ones whose yahrzeit, whose anniversary of death occur this week. Michael Aronson, Harriet Boehm, Harry Fishman, Ronnie Gilman, Berhard Gottlieb, Irving Grassfield, Linda Hanau, Anne Lasarso, Carl Linder, Harold Reinstein, Louis Rubin, Shirley St. Amour, Marie Watsky, Renee Zinwer. If there are other names that you are remembering, you may share them with our community. We join on page 294 for Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah be'alma Yehi shmei rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lamei amaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh
V'yitalal shmei kudsha b'richu le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imru amen Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen Oseh shalom b'romav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
V'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be a blessing.
We're going to invite Talia back up. We're on page 5, and she's going to lead us in Kiddush and Motzi, and then we'll join in our concluding song.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho באהבה וברצון, פריני לנו, זיכרון למעשה בראשית. כי הוא יום תהילה למקראי קודש, זכר יציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים. ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. לחיים.
And as is our custom, we are going to invite anyone who has yet to become bar mitzvah, so that's a few of you, get to come on up and come near the challah. And during our Ona, you get the first bite of challah. You can come up. All right, and Talia's gonna, you can come up with her if you want. All right, great. All right, Talia, take it away. Yeah.
Do I just hold it?
You can hold it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ha'olam, hamotzi zilecha min ha'aretz.
Amen. All right, so, yes, when we bring out the challah, you guys come get the first bite. Okay, we're gonna bring it out for everyone. So, nicely done, Talia. Shabbat Shalom.
Before we conclude with Oseh Shalom on page 294, page 294, I don't remember if it was the poet Longfellow or Wordsworth who immortally penned these words, "Roses are red, violets are blue, and I love camp." But tomorrow we have a very special bat mitzvah because Talia's happy place is Camp Pembroke. And so we're going to bring the Torah down there, and she's going to be called to the Torah at Camp Pembroke. That means we also have to schlep Sidorim. So instead of putting your prayer books back in the shelf, Nathan Reese is going to help you. There's some bins. So go see Nathan over here, and he's going to put your prayer books in bins. And maybe we'll just separate out the prayer sheets. You don't need to leave those in your prayer book. We'll keep a separate pile. May the one who makes peace in the heavens help us make peace here on earth. Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Amen. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al Kol Yisrael. Shabbat Shalom, and thank you to our ushers and greeters as well. We'll be sending around a summer sign up if you can help us out. Shabbat Shalom.